Hey, for lifers, Paik4Life here. Thanks. Hail for life. Hey, Titan. How's it going? I don't know why this stupid live stream chat on my phone keeps overlaying everyone's messages. In any case, we're here with part 3, the final part of the trilogy of Mastermind Creation / Ocular Max's Ignis, their hotspot. We're doing combined mode today. I know you guys have been waiting a long time for this. You had to wade through the base mode to get here. But I wanted to show off a few things. Again, these are the things that you've already seen before. The weaponry will show off how those work in combined mode. But I did want to show off the alternate head. So apparently this is the bonus head for the first release. They've done stuff like this in the past before. So if you buy the first release of Hotspot, you're going to get this bonus head here. He does also come with several other faces. You'll see the kind of more yelling face, kind of yelling face. They're both yelling, but they both slightly have different chins and stuff like that. And then the straight face. We'll show off how to swap that out. It's actually very simple. We're going to start off in alt mode, and then we'll get into the combined mode. So we're just going to start off right with that. So first thing we'll do is go ahead and just make things easier. We'll just collapse this ladder for now. We're going to untab this. We're going to try to get all this stuff through. So we kind of need to get this piece through underneath this bottom here, and then we can collapse this, flip this around. You basically just need to get this wrapped around like so for now. We'll just leave it like this. We're going to go to the upper body. Similar to what we did with robot mode, we're going to flip up on this tab here. Flip up on this. We're going to rotate this. Before you keep rotating, there is a little lever here. You want to angle it kind of like 45 degrees. Get this flipped around. Lift it up like so. Get this down. Same thing on this side. As I do this, make sure to drop your questions that you might have in the live Q&A if you're joining us live. If you're joining us on the rewind, go ahead and just leave it in the comment section. I'll try to get to it as soon as possible. And we also have a live poll going on, so check out the poll. So once you have that done, we're going to go to the upper body. I don't know the exact smoothest way to do this yet. I've only had this for a couple days, so bear with me here if I don't get the smoothest transition or mess up some way. This transformation is definitely the most difficult, the most challenging. All right, so we're going to go ahead and split the upper body, the cab, not upper body, the cab, which forms the upper body. I'm going to use a spudger here. I'm going to split this. And now we have one unique thing that we have to do is that we didn't have to do this for robot mode, but there's actually a telescoping joint in the whole upper body here. So just pull up on this and you can see how that rises up. At any point, you can kind of get the robot mode head, the combined mode head out. We'll just rotate out. We're not going to do the chest yet because we do need to mess with some other stuff before that gets into place. But you do need to telescope this up. We're going to deal with one of the arms at a time. We're going to open up this panel. A lot of this is very similar to robot mode transformation. We're going to come on here. We're going to unpeg this and get this panel around. The arm is going to be very similar. So it's tabbed in this way. So you want to release that tab by straightening this out. You want to pull this out, rotate it all the way around, and fold it up here. There's a little tab there. We're going to rotate the arm bicep 90 degrees. We're going to rotate at the forearm, and then you have to slide. There's a little slider here. You want to slide that inwards. And when we come down, there's one thing that you need to prep. So remember that little lever piece that we saw before? We want to angle it at about 45 degrees, so right about there. And when we bring this arm down, it works in an interesting way. So there's the over-under hook here that goes into the forearm, and then there's a little slot on the back, which this locking mechanism works. So just make sure that the whole upper torso is extended all the way. Bring this down. We're going to hook this in on the front. On the back, because we bent it 45 degrees, that will just give us enough clearance to get that locked into place. And then we push this up, and that will lock from the back. So you need to do that. Make sure that this piece didn't slide back. You want to have it slid all the way in like so. And you'll see that's kind of how this all works here. But as we keep going, why don't we go ahead and get out the ratcheted combiner port here. One small difference from robot mode is that we actually have to rotate the front 90 degrees. And we're going to close this up. There's a peg right there, which will go into the arm, like so. I'm not sure if you're supposed to flip this panel up or not. I guess it looks like it fills more of a gap if you don't close that. So I leave it open, but you can actually flip that up. I don't think it affects anything else, but again, I'm not 100% sure. So with that, we'll leave this because we have to do a bunch of other stuff before we can do that. So let's just do the other arm as well. Same thing. We're going to open up this panel. We're going to unpeg this, get this opened up like so. We're going to bring this arm out, get this piece rotated around 180, close that up, rotate the bicep like so. Use that slider joint, rotate at the forearm. And as before we bring this down, again, move this to about 45 degrees, right about there. So that line is vertical. That's kind of the indicator here. We're going to come down. We're going to hook this side first. And then we're going to lift up on that to lock that into place. Make sure that this went all the way in. For some reason it didn't. There we go. We can lift this up. At this point, we can actually finish off the head, but let's finish off the arm first. We'll go ahead and get like so. Remember that we're rotating 90 degrees at the cab, getting this down, pegging this up front here. And then we got to leave this for now. So now the combined mode head, we're just going to go ahead and there's two tabs here that lock in here. And then you would just want to flip this open like so. Like so. That folds open. Then you get the nice defensor chest and head. And just well, I guess we'll show off the comparison later. So now we'll just deal with the backpack, which we hadn't done before. You just want to kind of accordion this up, slide this all the way up. This piece will be kind of a lower back filler. And so there's a couple of orientations that we can do here. I guess I'll show off first without the collar, and then I'll show it with the collar. So before we put this all in, there's two tabs here that go into the back here, but there's also one tab on each of these side flaps that will go into this tab slot right here. So I find it a little bit easier to put those in first and then lock in the backpack like so. This backpack, lower back filler, you just want to angle it like so. And oh, of course, I knew I forgot something. Before we do that, there's two little tabs here. They're not absolutely necessary, but they are designed. So if you remember, I was saying that there's two slots here that I wasn't sure what they were used for. I realized that there are little tabs right here that you flip out. And that's what helps extra secure these pieces. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, they'll go into this, and then the light will go into this port here. We do need to get this flipped all the way around on this hinge like so. And then we'll start doing this. It is a little frustrating to kind of get these in because they're kind of blind tabs. And since they're not rock solid, they don't lock into place. It's hard to get these kind of in, which is really kind of annoying, to be perfectly frank. I'm trying to look in here to see if I can get these all aligned. And since they're on rotational pieces, it's very easy to miss them. Oh, I got it. All right, maybe it's not that hard. Maybe I'm just whining for no reason. But I found in my trials and tribulations that they're a little bit frustrating to deal with. I guess I just have the touch today in the live stream. So that's it. You can see those coming out like so. That's the upper body for Defensor, aka Maximus Pro. All right. The next thing we'll do is deal with the hip skirts. Let me scooch down a bit because we're going to be doing with the lower body now. We're going to flip up these hip skirts, untab these around. Thanks, Mark Drummond, for the $5. He says, really appreciate you, Paik. This figure seems even better than I expected. After the first releases, I expected a lot, but this looks incredible. Yeah, I really enjoy this figure. So bring this down like so. We do need to split the legs. And the reason being is that we kind of want to rotate these thighs out. So these thighs have a locking mechanism. So when you open them up forward, these lock into place. So that's way more secure than what we had with Onslaught. A very cool mechanism there. So that locks these in. So these are not flopping around. They're locked into this like 90-degree orientation. But I wanted to do that first because to get this hip skirt out of the way, you do need to do some transformation on the crotch. So you want to pull down on this crotch panel. This comes forward. You have a little tab here that pushes this out. And this tab goes into the slot. It's not really a tab. And honestly, this could have been done a little bit better into an actual tab. It kind of slots in here. And maybe the tolerances just aren't good on this. But while it does stick, it is easy if you're messing around with him with posing and so forth to like push this in or untab that. So I find that a little bit annoying, to be perfectly frank. But we need to get this out of the way before we can deal with the hip skirts, which will come down, rotate 180, like so. Then this is going to flip back, get down, and that will tab in. These will flip up, and these will tab in, and these become like the back and side hip skirts. I'll probably leave these out for now because we do have some leg stuff, and these do kind of tend to get in the way, but they're supposed to fold flat like that. And you can kind of see how that works. There's also little crotch pieces here that open up on either side at the top and bottom to fill out the crotch a little bit more. These are also just kind of annoying. Anytime you touch them, they fold in. So you just have to be very meticulous to make sure that you're not touching here and pushing them in. But inevitably, you probably will. So it's nice that they did that, I suppose, but it's just kind of finicky. All right, the lower legs are where things get really kind of complicated, and it took me a really long time to figure out how these are supposed to work. And there are some mechanisms that I don't enjoy about this, so let's go ahead and flip these open. They automatically came open when I laid this down. There are a couple tabs on either side. There's 4 in total, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, and then 4 on the other leg. So what we'll do is just loosen these up. So we want to open this tab up here, and there's another one on the inside. This one here, which is difficult. And then this last one is the most annoying one because it's super long and it's hard to get out. So I always use the spudger. So you need to kind of get it started. And it also flexed, like this makes me worry that this is going to break at some point. It hasn't. I've done the transformation a bunch of times, but you got to like pull it out. And because the tab is so long, like look how long it is. Like it has to flex, and you can see how thin that piece is. I think it's designed to flex like that, and it's also a popping out mechanism so you don't break it potentially. But I found this tab in particular to be super annoying. So in any case, once you have that done, that releases this extra joint here. We're going to go ahead and open up this panel back here. We're going to flip this up, lock that into place. And that these lower tabs were locking in this whole mechanism here. This is the entire like endoskeleton for the legs. So what you do is kind of push up and rotate this whole piece. Don't just pull out on this. You want to rotate this whole section. It's probably easiest to even just push back here and rotate that 180 degrees. Once that's done, you can lock that back up, these lower ones here. Just make sure that they're level. You do want to push the toe up. I don't exactly know how you want to have this, but I just do it like this. Close this up. You're not really going to see it, so it doesn't really matter all that much. This panel here, you kind of want to fold, I think, like this to fill up the gap in the knee. And then we do the foot transformation, which is kind of crazy. So we're going to unfurl here and here. We're going to untab this section. We're going to lift up on these sides. Open this up. This side will flip up and in like so. We're going to have to do 2 rotations, one 180 here, and then we need to pull out these joints that are inside of the ankle until it's flush like this, and then there's a 180 rotation here. There's kind of a small telescoping joint. These pieces on either side are actually locking tabs. So when you want to rotate them into place, what was that? Oh, a screw came out somewhere. Oh, Give me a second. I don't know why this screw came out, but of course it did on the live stream. Looks like it's in this section here. Let me just... All right. So where was I? So this tab has to come up on either side. That locks in this ankle piece. Oh, and so we rotate this all the way through. This piece will come in and tab here. And then the foot itself, this is the foot. You want to bring out this panel. There's also a kind of a rotational locking tab, which is too loose on this sample. I'm hoping it's much tighter in the final, but again, this is a prototype. You don't absolutely need it, but you want to do that. And then you want to open these up past 90 degrees and you fold them backwards, and they do a over under tab to form the back of the foot. And that is the foot transformation. All right, we're still not done though, because we still have to take care of this thigh. So just to show you how it goes, this part is the part that was really difficult for me to understand. They showed me like this Chinese reviewer that did it, and I'm not Chinese, so I didn't understand what he was saying. But the first thing we'll do is remember this locking tab here. We want to push that in, rotate this joint so that it locks into here. Close that tab. And then this is the lower joint that I did not understand. The reason is it looked like you just double hinge this inward and then close things up, but that's not how it works. You need to do that, but there's also a super, at least on this sample, super tight additional ratchet that is here. And I did not even know that that moved. It's so difficult. So I'm just going to try to get it started, and this is probably going to be the section that takes the most. But you want to ratchet this enough so that this piece, this flat piece here, ends up being parallel to the ground and perpendicular to the back of the leg. But because it's on moving hinges, it's so hard to like get any leverage to get it to go 90 degrees. And I don't know if this is just on the sample, but it's super hard to get ratcheted down. There we go. Whew. I think that's it. And then when you double hinge this down, there's a little tab and slot here that this locks into, and you'll press there and you'll hear it click into place. That's how you know you got it right. Additionally, this thigh will be butted up directly against the front of this blue thigh piece too. The black thigh will butt up directly against that. If you did that right, you can go ahead and tab these back in. That shallower one is much easier. This longer one is a little bit more difficult. Make sure that this is locked into place. Then this piece will rotate in and tab into the back of the leg there. Then we close that up. And that's one, oh, sorry. And one thing down here that you need to do is there's a little mechanism for connecting the leg bot to help secure it. So rotate that piece out. So I think that is, oh, and rotate this little flap up. And that is it for one leg. Again, I've done this many times, and this is probably one of the smoothest I've done it. The ratchet on here is super tough. All right, so let's do the same thing on the other side. The first thing we'll do is release these tabs. Release this one. Release this one. Just open up the leg here. We'll open this one. And then this is the very long one again. I'm going to use a spudger because it's so hard to get out. I just get it started and then basically wedge this through to get this long tab out. There we go. We're going to open up the back leg panel here. And as I said before, we want to rotate this whole lower leg mechanism. So we want to push up on this while rotating this out. You do need to free up this upper joint first because it does kind of lock this piece in. So just make sure that this is unlocked here so that that double hinge gives you a little bit of extra room. All right, so we'll transform the leg again. Let's just flip up the toe and lock in these pieces before I forget. These little tabs on both sides. And we'll do the leg again, the lower leg. So we're going to unfurl twice. We're going to flip this up for now. We're going to open up these sections, get this out wide. The toe piece will come back and tab in like so. This is when we do the first rotation, 180 at just the toe tip. And then before we do the other rotation, we have to get it out of this heel section here. So we kind of want to just pull out on this to get it rotated. Once these are level with each other, we're going to rotate this around. These tabs on either side, we're going to rotate those down, lock that into place. This is the combiner joint peg that I missed before. Just rotate that out 180. This piece will now come back, lock that into place. Now we just deal with these panels on the back. And again, there's that little kind of weird locking tab here, which again, is too loose on this sample. And we're going to flip these all the way out past 90 degrees so you can see that it is angled slightly. It's not 90-degree angle. Tab these over under on the back. That's the lower leg. We'll go ahead and flip this panel closed here. And now we got to deal with this super tight ratchet here. So first we'll go ahead and push in on this tab. Rotate this straight. Tab that in. And now pray for me as I do this one. So again, I need to get this lower section ratchet. You can see the ratchets right here. You need to get this piece that's currently vertical. You need to get it exactly horizontal, 90 degrees horizontal. So I'll start it off like so. So you can see I'm almost at 90, but now I need to find a way to apply pressure. There we go. Now we just push that in. You heard that definitive click here. I'll do it again for you just in case. So here, push this all the way forward until it locks. Like so. Oh, you see this crotch piece came out. I mentioned it before. It's just kind of an annoying piece here. Okay. All right. So once we have that fully forward, we can lock in those tabs. You have to be very meticulous in making sure that it's positioned correctly because there are aligning holes. But once you do that, you're going to close up this panel to lock that into place. Fold this up, close this. And that is your combiner mode version of Ignis. He's very tall, so as you would expect. Let me see if I can, let me flip this up. Let me see if I can get him to stand. Again, without the support of the legs units themselves, it is a little flimsy as you might expect, but this all solidifies once you have the leg units in. I'm going to see if I can just get him to lean so we can do at least a complete view of him. So yeah, here, let me slide this up as well. All right, so that's what we're looking at here. You guys are asking, probably tagging me. I see some at Paik4Life. If you don't put it in the Q&A section, I'm not going to be able to read this in time. But you can see how he looks here. And he looks really good to me. We'll do a quick 360. Back is really clean. All right, so that's how he looks. We are going to do some other things. So what's the first thing we should do? Let me show what he looks like when we pop the collar and also switch the faces, just since we can do that fairly easily. So popping the head off is super easy. You just want to open the head to reveal Hotspot, and you just pull straight up on it. You can see there's a little set of mushroom pegs on either side. You can remove the face and swap the faces by pulling forward. I don't remember if these faces are interchangeable with the other face or not, so let me actually try that. I think they are. Yeah, so you can get the yelling face here. And again, here, just a close-up of the comparison of the head sculpts. You can see the crests are different, the angles are different. The whole shape is different. This one's much more blocky. So if you want to pop this one on, again, you can just open this up, push straight down on the mushroom peg, And then just close that up right around Hotspot's head like so. So that's the first thing. The next thing we'll do is, let's look at the poll. Apparently 62 of you do like it when he pops his collar. So the way we do that was we had to do a little bit of untransformation or detransformation, retransformation. We want to pop this open. We're going to untab these side panels. Remember they had that kind of long tab that went in here. We're going to pull forward on this. Let's fold up these little tabs that went into the backpack. We're going to pull forward on this. And then there's a little like T tab on both sides here. We want to flip those down like so. And then we're basically going to close this up. And now it doesn't lock into place with these tabs. It actually is held almost all completely with these T tabs. So the way these T tabs work, or you can see there's little slots here. You can see this. We basically groove these in by doing a little bit of squeeze or tilting them in. So you kind of tilt them in and they slide outwards and lock into place in these grooves. And that's it. Like that's how his collar is popped. We do want to close this up. So now that the other tabs from the collar are not there, you're basically just relying on this peg, which is sufficient enough. Like so. And that's how Defensor looks, or Maximus Pro looks with the collar popped. This tab's supposed to be flipped up. But you get the idea. It's cool that they were able to do this. They already have so much going on with the all-in-one. The way that AK went above and beyond to allow you to pop the collar too for an alternate transformation in combined mode is just sick. Let's just be honest. That's just sick that he was able to do that. Let's actually start doing a little bit of comparison in the combined mode. And again, I'm going to try to do my best to make sure he doesn't fall down. But again, without everything kind of in place, things can get a little bit hairy here. And we will combine him with some of his other partners. But I just wanted to show you some quick comparisons with his buddies, or his enemies, actually. So if you remember, I was doing some comparisons with Onslaught before. Here he is with the combined Bruticus. He is wearing the boots, as you can see here. So this is designed to scale with him and be head-to-head with him, almost exactly head-to-head, maybe a couple millimeters off, with their Bruticus with the upgrade boots. So if you don't have the boots, he's going to be a little bit shorter. All right. And we'll show off how he looks a little bit later with some more parts. But let's go ahead and do that now. All right. Luckily, one of my local buddies let me borrow one of his Navigants. So let me scooch this back down. We're doing a lot of up and down here. Sorry, clearly not well planned. But we'll show off how to get this attached. So, first thing we'll do is open up this section here. Make sure that your Navigant is transformed in the correct way. These tabs are going to play a critical role. I'm not going to go over that in this review because I've done that in other reviews, and everyone should know how to do that. If not, reference that. The knee joint, you're going to bend this. You can hear it's ratcheted. There's a little panel that hides the slots here. So the way this holds into place are these two tabs here that go into the groove. We also have these two sets of tabs that will lock into this lower section here with these tabs. And then between the legs or the knees, there's ports where this piece goes in. So we're going to lock the first section in first, like so. And then I like locking in the lower section just to secure everything. Close that around the two halves. Make sure to flip this down to lock it into place. All right. And then coming to the back here, straighten out this back piece, and then this piece basically just goes around the big tab there. I'll make sure that these are in. Oh, I cut my hand. I cut my hand for you guys. I'm actually bleeding here. I don't even know how I did that. In any case, that's how you do it. So these tabs going around this piece here, the knee locking piece, and then the little ankle locking piece. So we'll show that off again on this side. Luckily, both knees and leg joints are the same. So you can use two navigants if you're impatient like me, if you're getting maybe the toy version that's coming out as well before Groove comes out. We'll go ahead and slot this in, close this up, get this piece between the knees. A little hard to see there. I think that's in place. And then this piece will go around these tabs. Those really aren't like tabs. I guess they could just kind of sit around this, but it's really the ankle piece and the knee piece that do all of the major work here. So with that, we should be able to have a much more stable. Yeah, so you can see how stable he is now. I didn't have to go back and lean him against anything. And again, we'll just go up a bit just to show off what he looks like. All right, so that is the leg, which is the cool new part. The arms use the same mechanism as our Assaultus. So we'll go ahead and come to the side. They have a little locking. Oh, sorry, hold on. We'll come to the side, and they have a little locking mechanism here. I always forget which. Yeah, so you have to lift up the locking mechanism. You're going to want to slot this in. Wait 1 second. Oh, sorry. I forgot. This needs to be the other way, I believe, for Medicus. All right, so I think, yeah, so like that. Plug that in, and then close the locking tab. Sorry, I'm trying to do this while not being able to see where the tab is. Come on now. There we go. All right, there we go. So now we have, oh, I didn't get it in. All right, I think that's in this time. Am I doing it wrong? Do I have it upside down? I don't think so. Yeah, I have it the right way. I'm not sure why it's not wanting to lock as securely this time here. Let me get this joint out some more. Okay, there we go. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, that's what he looks like with one arm. He can use the combined mode guns. So if you all recall, he has both a transformable small handle, which is this piece, or the larger piece that goes into his tabbed hand. Like so. Come on. Sorry, I can't really see what I'm doing right now. I'm like standing above him, which is making it a little bit more difficult to get his fingers around. There we go. Okay. There we go. And he's looking awesome. And like I said, since he does have the same mechanism as Bruticus, we can bring in their blast off. Open up. Which side is that? I always forget. Okay, this side. Let's see if I have it upside down or not. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, good. Like this. Now we have a sort of defensor. Not really true defensor, but you can actually see him with at least arms and legs. Doubled up legs. And a borrowed arm from Bruticus. Since we're missing an arm, I won't be able to show you a complete comparison with his Bruticus buddy, but there we go. you can get an idea of how they look together. And I think they look fantastic. This guy definitely looks much better. You can see how much better proportioned he is. He doesn't have like a thin waist like Assaultus does. He's really well proportioned. Even, you know, the weird proportions on the legs. I like Assaultus, and again, first attempt at this really ambitious all-in-one. I think they did an admirable job, but this guy is... it just looks miles better, right? Oh, and I guess theoretically we're supposed to have this open kind of like that. But yeah, he looks awesome. All right, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, articulation is the fun part here. Sorry, I know I'm missing I haven't addressed any comments, so I apologize again. We'll take a break in just a minute to answer questions, but I do want to get through some of this. So his head is on a swivel, so he can go 360. He can look a little bit up, not really any down because of the chin molding. He doesn't have a ball joint, so he can't do that. He does have ratchets on his shoulders that we saw before. So he can go 90 up and even a little bit down, I think. Yeah. And then rotational joint this way. One of the areas where I think the tabs need to be more secure, because there are only 2 small tabs here. I don't know if they're going to improve that or if the tolerances are just kind of loose on mine. You can see that chest does end up coming out quite a bit. There we go. What else do we have here? Obviously, the articulation in the arms are the same from when they're not in combined mode, so we kind of went over those in the individual reviews, but he does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which really only gets you about 90 degrees. He has also a elbow kind of swivel that goes this way. He has some amount of wrist swivel. He has the palm piece that will allow you to go back like so. You can see that joint. All 4 of his fingers are individually articulated. They can splay, and they also have 2 pin joints and 3 pin joints on each finger. The thumb is on a rotational mechanism as well as a ball peg, and then 2 additional pin joints. Oh man, I'm really hot right now. All right. Coming to the midsection. Oh no, actually, one thing that I wanted to show you all is that he has butterfly joints that are softly ratcheted, which is awesome for a combiner, especially an all-in-one. He does have a waist swivel, which is friction. He does have an ab crunch. Give me a second. Does have an ab crunch, which is ratcheted. He can go almost 90, close to 90. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm sounding like I'm out of shape. I am a little bit out of shape, but it's just because I'm so far away from this figure and I'm standing up, leaning forward. It looks kind of weird. But in this mode in particular, he has, if you untab the chest a little bit, he has an upper torso crunch, which is sick. So when you have this like this, he has an upper torso crunch in addition to the ab crunch. How cool is that? So here's the up here. When you do both, he's looking more than 90 degrees downward. There are some caveats to being able to use that. So again, you do have to unpeg the chest a little bit. And there are some caveats with this. So it works better in the pop collar mode. When you have it in the other mode with this down, you have to make sure that these panels aren't tabbed into this. Because when it's tabbed into this, these pieces can't move and it locks into place. So if you're going to keep the collar down and want ab articulation or upper torso articulation, you got to untab these tabs here. So don't tab them in, and then you can still use that joint. So just be aware of that. He does have it, but you just have to be aware that it does block if you tab those in. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So these slots here at the top that tabbed into the inner tabs here, you cannot have those tabbed in if you want to use the upper torso crunch in the non-collared mode. All right. And I know everyone's probably saying, oh, look at all the paint scrapage. I've already said it in the previous review. They are changing this out to actually translucent red, so it's not going to have any paint scrapage issues. All right, what else do we have here? We talked about the hip skirts. These kind of come out to the side. They actually are, if you unpeg them, can move a little bit. They can come down a bit. They can even come up a bit to get out of the way because they're on this double hinge here. This can also rotate. It's really if you're doing really unique poses that would need that. But again, these can kind of get out of the way for like the hips. The hips can go all the way back. They're ratcheted. Can go all the way forward. And the ratchets are really tight. So I have them fully out and I'm shaking it and it's barely going down one ratchet click at a time. So I would say this is super stable for a... I can't even get the leg to come all the way down. So I would say this is more than stable for and reasonable for a combiner of this size. Ratchet going out to the side like this. You do have tabs here that run in the way, so just be careful. Don't try to jam this forward. These are probably a little bit less secure than the other ones. You can see that they do come down, but they hold out just fine. That's not a problem. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have kind of, I guess, butterflied hips. But remember, these are tabbed in forward for security. So you can kind of butterfly them backwards, but I wouldn't recommend that for stability purposes. What else do we have here? See, this crotch piece is annoying me, as you can tell. He has thigh swivel. He has a more than 90-degree knee bend here that's ratcheted, which is also very, very secure. That's not going anywhere. He also has like a space filler for his knee too. So a gap filler for his knee. So it doesn't look as terrible as just leaving it like this. They went the extra mile to give you a little bit of that. We did thigh swivel. He doesn't have any knee swivel because he has thigh swivel up here. And then his feet, jeez. He does have some tilt. You can see that going down, up a little bit. He does also have some rotational. Let me see how the best show the rotational. He does have a little bit of rotational. I don't know if that's by design or not, but he does have ankle tilts. And then toe can go forward. Can't really go down, I guess. Well, I guess if you move this out of the way, you could go down, but that's just compromising. But he does have ankle tilts. I thought he did have some rotation. I'm trying to remember. Oh, and he also has... Oh, yeah, well, I think I showed this. The forward and back heel stuff. I could have sworn he did have some ankle rotation, but that probably doesn't make sense. Yeah, because that's locked into place. So, no, he doesn't have any ankle rotation. All right. Hopefully I didn't miss any articulation points this time around. I did realize, and some folks did remind me that I missed the knee bend on Hotspot himself. See, this crotch piece is annoying because it doesn't again, since it's not like a strict tab, it's like an opening. You can move it forward and back, and that's why it comes undone quite a bit. All right, so is there anything else that I really want to talk about in combined mode? Oh, he does have some weapon storage. So if you come to the back here, you can fold up his guns and tab them in here to give him kind of back cannons. Like so. I don't know if he's ever had that. I guess you can also... you know what? I never... no, these are too loose here, so you can't tab those in. I was thinking maybe you could tab those in. And I think that's it. As far as I know, and again, this is not completely accurate, could be incorrect. I did ask, and they weren't sure about whether these had any kind of function in combined mode. was trying to think if there was any other way to port them, but their ports are on this side. So I don't know if you can have these in and still port onto the back. Oh, I guess you technically can. It's a little bit tight and a little bit angled out. So I don't think that's really by design. All right. I think we're going to have a good stopping point. I'm going to see what questions there are. And I'm not going to transform this guy back because this is just going to take forever. And you guys can watch the official manual for that. But for now, as I leave him this way, I'll bring out a few other comparisons just so you can see. Again, we'll bring out Assaultus. That makes the most sense. We'll bring out Optimus Prime. You can see that's MP44, goes to about the crotch. I don't even know what else to show them off with. So give me a second. Let me see what questions you all have. All right, go to Q&A. Show him with a non-MMC combiner. Who do I have? I have the only real non-MMC combiner I have is Toy World's Devi, which is way bigger. Give me a second. Oh. The thing. Oh, sorry about that. Things I do for views. So here he is with Toy World Devi. Give me a second. He's obviously way further forward. So he is a considerable amount shorter. I guess I should do a measuring tape too. He stands with the A stance right around 17 inches from toe to head. He might be a little bit taller if you get him out of an A stance and he's a little bit leaning forward. But I would say about 17 and a half inches. What are other questions? Put him next to Voltron. Come on, you guys are just being mean at this point. All right, give me a second. Here he is next to Blitzway Voltron. A weird request, but okay, T-Man, whatever you want. Why do you don't want to do live streams now? Not complaining, just wondering. Players, rest in peace, to ask that. I only do live streams now because I just enjoy them. That's all I want to do. I don't like editing. It takes way more time. And I do get that they're lower quality because I can't control the resolution. I can't control the lighting. The YouTube app is not that sophisticated. But I just enjoy them. So I'm pretty much never going back. Some of these questions I can't even see. I'm gonna end the poll. It looks like 64% of you actually prefer it with the collar up. I'm actually surprised about that. Is this the most video reviews you've done for one figure? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I did a lot for Medicus, and I think I did a lot for Incursus / Assaultus. Transparent Toys 365 says, what is the overall height? We already said that, about 17 and a half inches. Soulless Convoy says, do the leg braces skeleton feel fragile? So the actual inner skeleton themselves are not, I wouldn't say, obviously they're not solid to use without the actual leg bots in them. So in that case, yes, I would say they're fragile, but it's not like the plastic feels like it's going to break. It's just not meant to hold up this figure without the leg bots, adding that extra stability. I was concerned about the feet because, it's mostly hollow, but they actually hold on really well. They're really well toleranced. So, yeah, I'm poking them. Ooh, that was a little bit too much, but they actually work pretty well. The toes are the only area that I thought maybe need to be a little bit adjusted in terms of tolerances or tightness. But again, I can't really say for sure because this is a sample. So Let me get Voltron out of the way. Well, what kind of request was that? Other questions. Sorry, I'm coming back. Other questions. Do Frado and Probus connect to Ignis as well? No, they do not. They don't. They use a different mechanism. Let's see. Magna Hero says, for those very long tabs, what if you shave the tip to an angle? Yeah, I actually thought about that as well. I'm sure that would help. I don't think it would compromise the locking mechanism too much, as long as you didn't shave too much of the oval out. How strong are the toe joints? Yeah, that's what I was saying. The toes probably the only area that I have a little bit of concern on, just because, well, I haven't screwed this tighter. These are actually screws, but yeah, that's the only area where I think they could have done a little bit more. But it actually doesn't use the toe for stability. It's all this kind of weird trapezoidal section that does most of the work here. I know that's not a trapezoid, but you get what I'm saying. Do the mechanical arms have a use in combined mode? I kind of went over that. I don't think so. They could correct me, but as of now, when I specifically asked one of the team members, who is the boss, who doesn't actually usually know all the stuff on the engineering side, he said he's not sure. Let's see. Do you have a Combined Wars Devastator? I do not have a Combined Wars Devastator. There is also one other question at the very top here, which I cannot see. It's from the Ridiculous Badger, but this stupid UI on YouTube's page won't let me see it. It says something appreciated ? So Parts Warmers asks, should I be more aggressive with my stock portfolio? Yeah, the younger you are, the more aggressive you should be, but you're old, so you should probably take it a little bit easier on that. Okay, so I think I answered all the questions. Surprisingly, not as many questions as I was thinking. And we're already close to an hour on this, so I don't want to go much longer. Let me see what other comments we have in the live stream before I end here. Normally, I would go another direction and go back and show you going back into alt mode, but like I said, we're already pushing an hour, and I knew this was going to be long. Yeah, Blades is next. Actually, Blades was supposed to be before Hotspot, actually. And I did find out that they did have a kind of a communication error with the factory with regards to some of the engineering. So that's why Hotspot came next, and it was later. So everything kind of got delayed because of the Blades issue. So I don't know if he's going to be next or not. Paik, I paid $2. Did you? Oh, sorry. Let me see who else donated. Fan funding. Oh wow, there's a lot of people. I'm so sorry about that. So first, we already talked about Mike Drennan. So thank you for the $5. Fang Nguyen says $2, $1.99 for the blood. I appreciate it. TM says compared to combined or not made by MMC. I did that. G Tony, thank you for the $2. I also saw that you donated $2 at the end of the last stream, and I missed that. So I did say thank you in the stream after it ended in the chat, but I wanted to recognize both the $2 now and the $2 before. Anthony Brown Jr. says, compare with Trypticon. I do not have Trypticon. What dinosaur can I compare him to? Do I have any dinosaur? Oh, okay. Hey, where's my dinosaur? Well, not dinosaur. Oh. Here he is with like the bulky hero. I forget what he's called, but he was sold under a number of different names. But I think it was like bulky hero. Devastator is the non-transforming one. And then here he is next to a kind of dinosaur. Not Trypticon, because I don't have him, but Anthony Brown Jr., if you want something else, you can ask really quickly. I'll see if I see it. Bring back Constructor. I'm not bringing him back. We've already gone there. We're not bringing him back. But I do appreciate the $2, Ridiculous Badger. All right, so those are the folks who donate. I really appreciate it. I always say that you don't feel the need to donate. I do appreciate it if you want to do that, but really it's not necessary. I'd rather you have given me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please give me a thumbs up. I see you 155 of you. If you could just give a thumbs up, help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Show some love to me, MMC/Ocular Max, for letting us do a preview. Again, not many companies allow previews like this anymore, so to be able to do this is a real honor. Compared to a Care Bear, no. Anthony Brown says I demand a refund. There's no guarantee. The donation is always if I have a comparison. Springer, darn it. All right, hold on. Send him some bubble tea compared to a Cabbage Patch. Fans Toy Springer. All right, fine. MP Streak. I forgot MP Streak. Here's MP Streak. He's about 1, 2. He's about 3 streaks high, and I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 streaks wide. Let me get Springer. All right, here's Fans Toy Springer. Not Fans Toys. I keep saying Fans Toys. I don't have Fans Toy Springer. This is the Ocular Max Springer. I know the angle is kind of weird. He comes up exactly, basically, to his bottom of his crotch. It should be a little bit taller just to make it a little bit more convenient for extracurricular activities, but there you go. You guys are just asking for all sorts of random stuff now. Ridiculous Badger asks, Paik, why do you put up with us? Because I love you guys. That's why I do the live streams. That's, again, responding to Polaris, rest in peace. I do it because I enjoy this part of the review way more than actually doing the review itself. The interaction is always great. Ridiculous says, send this man an Apache. No, I think that figure is worse than Ocular Max's Springer. So, Jermaine Sutton says, Skyfire. I'm not going to do a comparison for you, Jermaine. You've been hating on this the whole time. And my Skyfire is really far in the back. I mean, that's the only real reason I'm not going to do it, because he's behind about 8 different figures and 2 minifigures, including tapes. So I'm not going to do that. So many people are asking. Do I really want to do this? All right, hold on. God damn it. All right, for all you people who asked me for a Skyfire review, Skyfire comparison, you all better give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, too. I need that algorithm to blow this up so I get 1 million views and I become a YouTuber for life and can quit my day job. Skyfire, again, the angle is a little bit weird. Skyfire's head comes to right below Defensor's chest here. Yeah, I did it for free. I know some people always some people have given me guff for the whole joke about donating $1.99 to do a comparison. Some people who are new to the channel or don't know, which is fair. They assume that I'm actually serious about that. I'm not actually serious about that. I try to do my best to accommodate. Thanks, Princeton Phalanx. Always a great supporter. He's been with us for a long time. He donates a lot as well. Thank you for the $3. We're at the top of the hour. I'm going to end it here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 3-part series of Ignis / Maximus Pro / Hotspot / Defensor from Ocular Max. I had a lot of fun doing this. It was a lot of work to do this as well, but I very much enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got what you needed from these reviews. If you have any more questions, comments that I didn't answer, leave them in the comment section below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Show some love to me with some thumbs up. If you can also join my Discord. I'm super active on my own Discord. The link is in the Discord below. We've been getting a whole bunch of new members there. We do a lot of different things. Talk about Transformers, non-Transformers, Lego. We talk about video games, wrestling, working out, And then we also have a marketplace there. So we have a couple of raffles going on right now. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff going in there. If you have time, if you know what Discord is, I highly recommend you join. It's a lot of fun. And you'll get some sneak peeks of some stuff that I don't share anywhere else. So I shared some additional photos of this guy in the various modes that I have not shared anywhere else. So thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for sticking with me for the last hour and the last 3 reviews. We won't be doing any more of Ignis, but keep an eye out for some more reviews. We got some other things that are coming up. I just started messing with Metagate Red Fantasy, aka Shatter, which looks amazing, but there's a lot of things about it that I do not like. But we'll probably do a review of her and a lot of other stuff. So I'm not going to get into everything, but thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks all.